Four friends, Liam, Chloe, Ben and Maya, had planned this trip to Rome for years. It was their dream, finally coming true. A once-in-a-lifetime adventure filled with ancient history and Italian charm. Stepping off the plane, the bustling energy of Rome enveloped them. Ancient ruins stood alongside vibrant modern life, a breathtaking testament to centuries of civilization. The air hummed with excitement. Their first major destination, the Vatican City. A place of unparalleled history and spiritual power, its majestic domes and ancient walls promised an unforgettable experience. They couldn't wait to explore. Inside the Vatican museums, they were surrounded by millennia of art and artifacts. Each corridor seemed to whisper tales of popes, emperors, and forgotten eras. The sheer scale was overwhelming. The Sistine Chapel left them speechless. Michelangelo's work soared above them, a breathtaking symphony of color and narrative. It felt like stepping into another world, a sacred space beyond time. As Maya studied an ancient tapestry depicting mythical creatures, she felt a shiver. The details of a snarling beast, half man, half wolf, seemed unnervingly vivid, almost alive. She quickly looked away. She mentioned it to the others, but they laughed it off. "Just old legends, Maya," Liam assured her, romanticized history. Yet, a tiny seed of unease had been planted, unnoticed by the others. Later, at a small trattoria, Ben overheard an old Roman man whispering about ancient evils beneath the city. He spoke of a beast that walks in shadow, especially when the moon is full. Ben shrugged it off. As dusk fell over Rome, a different kind of magic emerged. The ancient buildings glowed, beckoning exploration. Liam, ever the thrill-seeker, suggested a daring nighttime venture into the Vatican grounds. Chloe was hesitant, but the others were swayed by Liam's enthusiasm. The idea of seeing the Vatican without crowds, under the pale moonlight, was too tempting. A bad decision, made impulsively. Under the cloak of a partial moon, they found an unguarded service entrance. Heart-pounding, they slipped past a rusted gate, entering the silent, imposing world of the Vatican after hours. No turning back now. The vast courtyards were empty, the silence absolute, broken only by their own hushed footsteps. Every shadow seemed to stretch impossibly long, turning familiar statues into monstrous figures. The atmosphere grew heavy. A cold gust of wind swept through an open archway, carrying with it a faint metallic scent. Chloe shivered, pulling her light cardigan tighter. This wasn't the exciting adventure they'd imagined. As they moved deeper, Liam swore he saw something dart across a dark corridor ahead, a fleeting shadow, too fast, too large for a cat. He blinked, dismissing it as his imagination. Or was it? Maya heard it next, a low, guttural growl that seemed to vibrate through the ancient stones. It was primal, animalistic, and utterly terrifying. Her heart slammed against her ribs. Ben tried to rationalize it. "Probably just a stray dog," he whispered, though his voice lacked conviction. The growling grew louder, closer. Doubt, then fear, began to creep into their brave facades. Suddenly, a chilling snarl echoed from a nearby alcove, far too powerful for any dog. It was a sound of pure predatory aggression, a sound that froze them to their very bones. They knew they weren't alone. A horrifying silhouette emerged from the alcove. Tall, hunched, with limbs too long, it moved with a disturbing grace. It wasn't human. It wasn't any animal they knew. Their blood ran cold. A shaft of moonlight momentarily pierced the gloom, illuminating the creature's face. Fur, fangs, glowing eyes, and a muzzle horribly contorted into a snarl. A werewolf. The legends were real. A primal terror erupted. Liam, recovering first, screamed, "Run!" The spell of terror broke. They turned and fled, their pounding footsteps echoing frantically through the cavernous halls. The beast let out a guttural howl. The werewolf was impossibly fast, its claws scraping on the polished marble floor, a terrifying counterpoint to their desperate gasps. They could hear its heavy breathing, feel its monstrous presence closing in. A sudden turn led them into a labyrinth of smaller passages. In the chaos, they tragically split up. Liam and Maya went one way, Ben and Chloe another. Isolated, their terror intensified. Ben, using his strength, kicked open a heavy wooden door, pulling Chloe through. They stumbled into a dusty storage room, hastily barricading the door with anything they could find. The faint thumps outside were too close. Meanwhile, Liam and Maya found themselves in a massive ornate library, shelves reaching impossibly high, shadows dancing among ancient tomes. The werewolf's snarls echoed, amplified, from below. A horrifying howl reverberated through the Vatican's ancient stones, shaking the very foundations. It didn't sound like the beast chasing them. It was another, more distant, more guttural. there wasn't just one. The sounds outside Ben and Chloe's door intensified. Violent thuds, splintering wood, and then a growl of pure frustration. The beast was growing impatient. Their temporary sanctuary wouldn't hold. Liam and Maya watched in horror as a hulking shadow passed by a grimy window. Too large, too monstrous to be anything but the werewolf. They held their breaths, praying it wouldn't look in. The door to their storage room finally gave way with a crash. Ben swung the candelabra wildly, creating just enough distraction for them to squeeze through a small, forgotten side door. Freedom, for now. Miraculously, they all found themselves converging in a dimly lit crypt, a chilling reunion. The crypt felt even older, the air thick with ancient dread. They were trapped, hunted, and exhausted. Ben, ever resourceful, noticed a small, grimy grate high on the crypt wall. It was too small for them, but perhaps a distraction. A desperate plan began to form, their last chance at survival. Before they could act, a chilling silence fell. Then, the heavy stone door of the crypt slowly creaked open, revealing the monstrous werewolf. Its eyes glowed with malevolent intelligence, pupils dilated. It smelled them. With a ferocious snarl, the werewolf lunged. Ben, fueled by sheer adrenaline, pushed Chloe out of the way, taking the brunt of the attack himself. A scream tore from Chloe's throat. Liam, seizing the moment, threw a heavy stone at the grate, creating a loud clang. The werewolf momentarily turned its head. "Go!" Ben roared, struggling beneath the beast. "Get out!" Maya pulled a devastated Chloe away as Liam finally joined them. They scrambled out of the crypt, Ben's cries echoing behind them. The guilt was suffocating, but survival instincts drove them forward. They eventually found the service entrance they'd used earlier, now seeming impossibly far away. With adrenaline pumping, they burst back out into the cool Roman night, gasping for breath, the Vatican's shadows looming behind them. A final mournful howl echoed from deep within the Vatican walls, a chilling farewell. It was Ben. His sacrifice allowed them to live, but the sound would haunt their nightmares forever. They reached their hotel, shaken and terrified, but intact. They made a silent pact. They would never speak of what happened, not to anyone. The secret of the Vatican's beast would die with them. They left Rome a day later, their dream vacation shattered, replaced by a horrifying memory. The city's beauty now seemed a fragile mask over ancient, unspeakable evils. They were forever changed. Back home, the waking world offered little relief. Every shadow held a beast, every distant howl, the ghost of their friend. Sleep was a luxury, besieged by nightmares of fur and fangs. The Vatican, once a symbol of beauty and faith, was now synonymous with unspeakable horror. They carried its secret, a burden heavier than any ancient stone, a wound that would never truly heal. Sometimes, they'd briefly glance at each other, and in those shared, unspoken moments, the terror would resurface, a silent understanding of the night's monstrous truth and their shared, terrible burden. Every full moon brought a fresh wave of panic. They'd lock their doors, draw their curtains, and listen, heart rates soaring with every rustle outside. The ancient legends had become their terrifying reality. Their youthful innocence was gone, replaced by a profound, cynical understanding of the world's hidden horrors. Travel, once an exciting prospect, now filled them with a deep, unsettling fear. Ben's face, captured in their minds, became a permanent fixture of their trauma. His name, unspoken, hung heavy in the air whenever they were together, a constant reminder of their escape and his fate. The decision to remain silent was both a comfort and a curse. It protected them from disbelief, but isolated them in a shared horror. They were a trio, bound by blood and an unspeakable secret. Every rustle in the bushes, every bark of a dog, sent their hearts racing. Paranoia became their constant companion, a nagging fear that the beast, or something like it, could find them again. They were never truly safe. The world they once knew, filled with adventure and possibility, was now tainted by darkness. They saw the monstrous beneath the mundane, the ancient evil lurking in the unseen corners of civilization. The metallic scent that hung in the Vatican crypt occasionally resurfaced, triggered by an innocent smell, damp earth, an old book, a hint of something feral. It was a phantom, yet palpable, reminding them. Their friendship, once lighthearted, was now steeped in shared trauma. They understood each other's fear without words, a bond forged in terror and loss. It was unbreakable, yet profoundly sad. The Vatican remained, silent and majestic, guarding its ancient, horrifying secret. For them, it wasn't a pilgrimage site, but a tomb of fear, a monument to the night they met the beast. They lived perpetually on edge, caught in an unending vigil against a threat they couldn't fight. The shadows were full of teeth, the silence fraught with growls. Their lives were a perpetual nightmare. Sometimes they read news of unexplained disappearances, strange animal attacks in odd places. A cold dread would grip them. They knew. The hunt hadn't ended at the Vatican, it had simply moved. They learned about ancient folklore, the legends of silver. A desperate, irrational hope flickered. Could there be a way to fight back? A way to reclaim their lives from the clutches of fear? But the thought of facing such a creature again, of deliberately seeking it out, filled them with paralyzing terror. The hope was fragile, almost immediately drowned by the enormity of their fear. They survived the Vatican's secret, but at a cost. They lost Ben, they lost their innocence, and they lost their peace. Their lives were a testament to the shadows that lurk beneath the world's most beautiful facades. And so their vigil continued, not against others, but against the monster within themselves. The fear, the guilt, the knowledge that ancient horrors are real, and that sometimes they can follow you home. The shadows of the Vatican and the beast it contained had forever imprinted themselves onto their souls. Their Roman holiday had become a living nightmare, eternally haunting their lives. Rome continued its ancient dance, oblivious to the terror it harbored. The city of popes and emperors kept secrets far older, far darker than any human could imagine beneath its revered facade. Have you ever felt a shiver in an old building? Heard a growl that wasn't quite right? Perhaps the shadows truly do hold secrets, and monsters are closer than you think, even in the holiest of places. Next time you travel, remember the stories whispered in the dark corners of history. Because some legends aren't just tales, they're warnings. And sometimes, the most beautiful places hide the deepest horrors. What ancient secrets do you believe still lurk in our world? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more terrifying tales.